Well, hello, friends. Today, I want to give you a bit of a life update. Um, I've been thinking about this for a while, whether I should say anything or not, and I think I want to. Life has been weird recently. I came out of the summer, and the summer was just unbelievably exhausting in a lot of ways. It was great. I got to travel a ton, and I love traveling. I was very busy. I love being busy. Um, I made some great progress in a bunch of different projects that I'm working on, and I love progress. At the same time, it was exhausting. I ended up packing my schedule a little bit too tight, sort of not through any fault of my own or anybody else's, really. It's just sort of how things fell. I ended up being nonstop, traveling across the world, literally around the world, and was just, I got out of it, and physically and mentally I was just completely exhausted. And at the same time, right at the end of my trip, my grandmother passed away, and then a friend of mine ended up taking his own life. And those two events were really hard. But one of the things that I did poorly is I didn't give myself time to sort of stop and breathe. I got out of this incredibly busy season, this just incredibly overwhelming sort of pressure cooker of trying to keep all the balls in the air. And then I had these, very serious, emotionally taxing events. And so, in my normal fashion, I just said, okay, cool, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to put my head down, I'm going to grind. Because that's how I deal with problems in my life, right? That's how I deal with, that's how I deal with everything. Is just like, well, no, I'm going to work more, I guess. I'm just going to keep going, right? Why stop and take time to reflect and think and accept the emotional challenge of what I'm going through and actually process. No, instead I think I'd rather just write some more. And to an extent, writing more isn't necessarily bad. I process a lot as I write. It's a really good way for me to express the things I'm feeling. And when I look at what I was writing in that period, I can see some of the darkness of my experience then transforming into hope, then transforming into light. And as I look back on that, I'm really actually grateful that I maintained my writing. What I didn't do well is I didn't accept the fact that I just wasn't going to be able to produce at the level I wanted to produce. For anybody who's been around the channel for any length of time, you know that I tend to write really hard. I try to write at least 10,000 words a day, and my actual goal is closer to 20,000 words. And through the beginning of this year and through most of the year up until the summer, I hit that goal. Like, my daily output was close to 20,000 words a day. I think my average is like just above 15,000, right? So most days I was hitting that goal. I then was traveling a ton during the summer. I then come out of it, have these sort of, emotionally challenging events. And I couldn't then immediately turn around and write 15 to 20,000 words a day. And when any reasonable person, including myself, reflecting on that is going to say, yeah, of course, that would be like silly to think you could. And yet, that was a belief that I held and I clung to, that, what's going to help me in this situation is just burying the difficulty, burying the emotions, burying all of the stuff that I'm feeling, being even in my temperament, in my speech, in my, in my emotions, and then just working so hard that I completely forget about it. What a silly way to approach life. Well, the last month, really the last 2 months, because we're now almost at the end of October here. I guess we are probably at the end of October by the time this video comes out. But and this all happened at the end of August, right? Beginning of September. And so 2 months in, and I have not been able to get back to my regular writing schedule. So what's the point of all of this? Why come out with a video? I'm not really looking for sympathy. In the last 2 months, I have grieved these losses, and I've grieved them well. And I am in an emotionally healthy place, and a lot of my emotion around these things has honestly transformed into gratitude. This afternoon, I took a walk, and I got to take a walk with my wife and 2 of my kids and my dog, and the sky was just this perfect blue, and the fall colors in golden sunlight were magnificent. And I'm really happy to be alive. I'm really grateful for these things that I can continue to experience on a daily basis. I'm so thankful that these incredibly difficult things that have happened, these losses that I still feel very keenly, they haven't defined my life. Just like all of the losses that I've faced throughout my life, all of the difficulty that I've faced throughout my life, it hasn't defined it, right? And my own challenge, or my own, what's the word? Inability to just do the thing that I want to do. Like, my inability to write as much as I want to write, and my inability to get as much done in the projects that I want to get done in. It's okay. It's okay. I can have grace for myself. I can understand that my life is not defined by singular moments. My life is defined by how I engage with it in the long term. And so that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming to engage well in the long term, right? I'm not trying to, solve every problem now instantly. I can sit in these feelings, and I can write as therapy, and I can write for my living. I mean, you want to talk about being grateful? I'm just so unbelievably thankful that I have the career I do, and that people enjoy my stories enough that I can support my family, and that it affords me the time to not only think about my life when things are really challenging, but also, to process that stuff through story in the hopes that it's going to help other people as well. And so, because I'm trying to live a life that is full, that is rich, that isn't defined by singular moments of success or failure, it's okay when I don't write my 20,000 words for the day. It's even okay when I don't write 10,000 words for the day. Now I'm slowly working back up to it. I'm slowly getting myself back in gear. And you know what's fascinating to me? What's just unbelievably strange to me? It's not just when difficult things happen that I'm thrown off kilter. I have something that I'm incredibly excited for happening tomorrow. My wife and I are foster parents, and we've had a foster son with us for for almost 2.5 years now. And we have the incredible privilege of being able to adopt him tomorrow. That's the 30th of October. What an amazing thing to be able to take this little boy that we've loved so deeply over the last 2.5 years and to invite him into our family permanently. I mean, he's been a permanent member of our family for years now. Like, that's the way we've always seen it. But now, not only will we see it that way, but the law will see it that way, and it just adds a level of permanency to the arrangement that is so exciting. And the excitement from this just tremendously cool event has also contributed to my complete inability to focus and to write and all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, I find it humorous. But I think the point of me wanting to get on here and share this is really to say that sometimes when I turn on the camera and I start talking about writing, it feels like I'm talking about something that's sort of abstract, that's a little bit divorced from life. But the reality is that as writers, in our profession more than any other, our work and our lives are so closely intertwined. And sometimes life is just humming along and we're writing and like things are moving and it's like, oh, all this cool stuff is happening. Or I'm just, I'm head down, I'm grinding and I'm getting there. I'm making progress. And then sometimes life, the storm rolls in and you have disruptions. Things don't go the way you were hoping. Things don't materialize the way you wanted to. Your internal systems are all of a sudden thrown out of whack, whether it's through health or through loss or anything really. And all of a sudden you have to just deal with life. That's okay. It's okay to exist in that place. It's okay to be aware of your life and your surroundings. And in a lot of ways, I think the best writing comes through this. The best writing comes out of these moments of difficulty and of joy. But I think the thread through all of it is in trying to maintain gratefulness for both the pain and the joy. Trying to take a breath and say, you know what? When my chest feels like a ton of bricks is pressing down on it and I can't find the words, that's all right. It's okay to exist in that place. It's okay to sit in that place. When you feel like your spirit is being lifted by a million balloons flying high in the sky, it's okay to be there. It's okay to exist in that place. And writing can be the thread that keeps it all together. For me, writing has been. And shifting my perspective from, you know what, I have to get all of this stuff done. I have to be as productive as possible, to saying, I've had a season of productivity. I've had a season of being less productive. That's okay, because it'll come back around. There will come a point when the difficulty of what I've been through in the last few months will start to sting less. And I will start writing more. And I'm grateful for the time that I had with my grandmother. I'm grateful for the time that I had with my friend. And I remember both of them very fondly. And I can do that. I can live in this space. And at the same time, I'm so excited for this new chapter that's opening up with my foster son. And I can live in that space. And I can work hard. I can do what is before me to the best of my abilities, knowing that whether my best today is what I want it to be, it's okay. Because I have tomorrow, I have the day after that, I have the day after that. And I'm going to continue to try and just do my best. So this video turned out a lot different than I planned. I hope you don't mind me just speaking sort of from the heart, and I hope that you can find some comfort in it.